How are you on this wonderful day? Hopefully, wherever you are, it's sunny and beautiful, and the air is just the way you want it, the temperature you want, and all that good stuff. We're coming back at you again, unapologetically significant. So here we are, Rich and Shelley in the house, feeling good. Hopefully, you are feeling good too.
Totally.
Because we're going to pump some stuff into you today.
Yeah, we're going to get into it.
Oof.
We are going to touch on some things that you may or may not want to talk about, or you may be feeling and not understanding why, as if you do that. You guys have been following us for a while. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for subscribing, first and foremost. But we really want to kind of dive into, we're getting some folks that are doing the walk. They're walking the walk. They're eating right. They're working out several times a week. They're eating clean. They're meditating. They're doing all of these things. But yet, your body is cute, but it's not where you want it to be. It's almost like you plateaued early in the game and want to know what the heck is going on. What if we told you your body's not broken, nothing wrong, but maybe your body doesn't feel safe?
Ooh, safe.
Yeah.
That conjures up all kinds of things.
And that's what we're going to talk about. We're about to get into it. What do you mean safe? Green juice is only going to take you so far. Working out, doing hits and Orange Theory or whatever it is that you're doing, that's great. And that's part of it. You got to do the work. However, it doesn't stop there.
It doesn't? So
it doesn't.
There's more internal things or things we're not thinking about?
Absolutely.
So if I hear you correctly, you're saying that, we kind of got, we're not broken.
No.
So if we're not broken, then by definition, we've got to be fixed.
Well,
to an extent.
There's little tweaks that we need to do. Little tweaks. Some of us got big tweaks, right?
Yeah.
But when you think about how the body works, okay, the body does not work on logic. You and I work on logic. We can do the math. We can carry the one. We can do all those things. However, the body is really based on fight or flight. So if your body is in a stress level, so let's talk about stress.
Okay.
Let's talk about lack of sleep. Let's talk about not getting the amount of nutrition that you need. All of those things are going to play into what your stomach is doing. It's going to, if your body is constantly, you go home and that's your hell on earth, or if it's your work environment, if it's your school environment, whatever it is, that can trigger that fight or flight that you don't even know is on. So your body, when it's in that state, it's going to slow down digestion, because it's like, we got to put this fire out. We got to do these things versus trying to process this delicious food that you just had. Probably I made it. I'm just saying. It's a shameless plug. Thoughts?
And if you're not able to digest it, does that complicate things?
Absolutely.
And to what degree?
Tell me.
Tell me.
Come on, Mr. Scientist. Let's get into it. Absolutely. Because we're talking about, we have an Ayurvedic background. So we're going to talk about the Agni, the fire, the digestive acids, the juices in your belly that break down that food. If they are compromised, your body really can't do what it needs to do. It may process some of it, but at some point it's going to stop and say, hey, I need to work on this, or I need to work on that, which is more important. It's not logical. It's very scientific.
Okay.
Based.
Well, let's back this train up a little
bit. Back it up.
Okay. So let's back it up to the point where we're eating something. Okay, so you put it in the mouth. Put it in your mouth, start to chew it. Why do you chew it? Chew it to break it down?
Yep.
And get it into something more palatable. So digestion starts there.
Yep.
Okay, essentially. Hits the esophagus. It's got to travel down to the stomach.
Down to the stomach. That's why it's important to chew your food to it's liquefied to help that process down.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So now it's traveling down there, and it goes by the sphincter valve. So that's a one-way valve. Only goes down, not supposed to come up. Okay, that's why a lot of times people have, when they have acid reflux and it comes all the way up, and oh my God, a lot of times that valve can be malfunctioning because it's letting things come up as well as down. But that's a whole nother thing. So let's get down into the stomach where the real action takes place. So food gets down to the stomach. Stomach essentially like a washing machine. It's gotta mix up that food with acids and enzymes. It needs both of those to break that food down. Okay? So it's in there, and it's a specified amount of time that it needs to be in there, and then it starts to leave the stomach. Okay? So broken down, leaves the stomach. Now, we won't get into what large intestines and small intestines and all that. It's not a biology class here. We may have that down the road, but not today. So anyway, so as this food comes out of your stomach, the thing to remember is it has to be absorbed. It has to be absorbed into the body. Okay? Because without absorption, it's going the other way. It's essentially waste, and it's going to travel the other way and excrete it. Okay? So it's very important that you absorb your food. How many of you look at your tongue? See what it even looks like.
I would say a large majority of folks don't.
No, they don't. They brush their teeth. They may brush their tongue, which you shouldn't do, by the way.
It's scraping. It's tongue scraper.
Yep, use a tongue scraper. But you can tell right away what your digestion is like. If you got cracks in your tongue, you're not supposed to have cracks. If you got divots in your tongue, you're not supposed to have those things. On the side of your tongue, if you got those indentation marks, that says your tongue is swollen because you're not absorbing food well. Presses on the teeth, and that's why you have those little ridges on the edges of your tongue. Okay? So if that's going on, you're not absorbing well. But you will absorb some food. Okay, now we absorb the food, we're getting it into the bloodstream, it's traveling different places. The liver has to detox things and further prepare the nutrients. And then what will happen, some of it does travel up to the brain, okay? The gut-brain axis.
I was waiting for you to get to this part. This is the highlight. This is the good part, y'all.
So as those nutrients travel up that highway, as you well know, there's all kinds of highways. Some highways are freewheeling. You can do 70, 75, 80, whatever the posted speed limit is.
The posted, yeah.
There's some that are notorious for backing up, accidents, whatever else is going on there. And it's a lot of congestion on that highway. Well, your highway also can have congestion, okay? But it's critical that the nutrients that you ingested are able to be absorbed and travel up to the brain. Because the brain needs to be fed. Okay, it's like all the other organs and tissue systems. It has to be fed. And when it's not fed, you can get into situations where you got brain fog. You can get in situations where you're not making good decisions. You can get into situations where
tired but wired.
Yep.
So you're tired, but you kind of have this spasmodic energy, kind of wired, and you can't relax.
Yep. So there are a multitude of things that can happen to the point of how you even think. Because if your brain is not being fed well, your thinking can be off, and you can get into a lot of rabbit holes with certain kinds of thinking. Oh, something must be wrong with this. Something must be wrong with me. Oh, something must this. And you start thinking differently, and you tend to pigeonhole yourself or your situations in such a way that you've built the fence around your own self. You agree with that?
I agree with that 100%. And I think we forget about that. And I want to say y'all, but it's us, right? We're a collective. We forget about all of the things that nutrition fixes or corrects or feeds, right? Nutrition is about feeding. So Rich touched on the absorption, right? That's pretty basic and understandable. But what exactly is it feeding? Okay, everything in your body is a highway, and on a cellular level has to eat, drink, and poop. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and we have to clean that up. And for us to get to the brain, to feed ourselves something that will sustain and help and correct and heal, it's got to be really, really beneficial to us. Because that belief system that he just touched on, we about to dig into it because we had a sidebar conversation, it was amazing, is the belief system, that the way that we process information and data. Okay, we want to make sure that's at the highest of ability, to our ability,
Mm-hmm.
at all times. It's not always going to be there,
Right.
but it is what it is. But we really need to consider what we're actually digesting. Is it going to feed our spirit and our soul? Really,
Right.
it's not about just being hungry and I just want to eat till I get full. That's why some of the crap that we're eating, we're feeling some of these effects of tiredness and anxiety and stress, and not
Mm-hmm.
even talking about outside world. I'm just specifically talking about food and how it nourishes the body and mainly the mind.
Okay.
So I think I
That's
answered that a little bit.
yeah, you did. You did. I want to back up again just a little bit. Um, because I think a lot of people question this, even though they may not say it. Well, I'm eating healthy,
Yeah.
and yet I still have all of these issues.
Mm-hmm.
This prevailing debate on how much protein should one have. Should I have 1 gram, 1.5 grams, half a gram,
Yeah.
blah 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 per body weight? I'm going to tell you right now, it don't make a damn bit of
Yeah.
difference how much you take in if you're not absorbing it. If you're not able to break that protein down, it really doesn't matter how much you put in there.
Mm-hmm.
You can put 2, 3 times the amount in there.
Mm-hmm.
You can't break it down. You can't break it down. And what is broken down protein? As this breaks down, and you've got to get these amino acids going, the building blocks of a person.
Right. It's
And
the amino acids.
yeah, yeah. And if that process is off, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to fix that. But most people don't. I think a lot of people do not know the importance of it. Because if you're putting processed foods in your body, if you're putting chemicals, synthetics, all that stuff, guess what happens? Gets in the body. Now the body's like, okay, I got to break this stuff down. Oh my God, what am I going to do? So your liver is working overtime.
I mean, it's got the whole Bob the Builder set. It's got hammers and jackhammers and saws and sandpaper, and it's
Everything.
doing everything it can to filter.
Break down,
Break down.
these strange chemicals.
Yeah.
Because guess what also happens? When these strange chemicals come in the body, your immune system goes to high alert.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh,
Soldiers, get them out.
Danger, Will Robinson. We got to do something here. So now your immune system gets kicked in.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you ate something that was not as healthy as it could be.
Let's just take a pause right there. So we do know that in the world, you can just eat as perfect and healthy as you want to. We live in a world where there's just things in the air. Environmental toxins. Thank you for using your big words. They're out there. So it's inevitable to be perfect, and we're going to be perfectly imperfect, and that's fine. But we want you to have a little bit of ownership in what you're actually eating. So we're not saying, Lord knows I love a good Portillo's hot dog every once in a while, right? It's processed.
Once in a while.
Once in a while is key. If I get one once a quarter or twice a year, then great. But it's really monitoring and being accountable for what you can control. You can't control all of this other elements. So once we get here to where you're referring to, your body's got to do what it's got to do. And we want to be in a situation where we're pouring into ourselves the best things that we can. Okay. And then I'll let you segue into, I don't know where you were going with this. I think it was belief system.
Well, yeah, we're getting there.
Sorry.
So all these impurities and synthetics and plastics, microplastics and all that stuff. The average brain has a teaspoon of microplastics embedded in it.
Yeah. That's a lot.
I guess how I got there, went through the gut-brain axis,
Mm-hmm.
got on that freeway and got right up there into it. Um, and these impurities are going to get lodged in different tissue systems. So they're going to get whichever tissue system. So it can be muscle, fat, bone, all the different systems. These impurities can get lodged in there, and your body's working at trying to get them out. Immune system's working. So right then and there, before the world's stress and everything else, your body's working hard,
Mm-hmm.
and you need to give it a little love.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll get past that. So now, as it lodges in the brain, now think of it as there's a lot of circuitry up there. And with circuitry, things need to fire and happen in a certain sequence. And all of that contributes. I'm making it very, watering it down quite a bit, but that contributes to how you think, both short term and long term. Okay? And the more that circuitry gets interrupted by particulates, foreign particulates, man-made particulates, the more you are going to struggle with trying to really accomplish a lot of the things you want to accomplish. Okay? And as we started off, it's not, it's not like you're broken and, you can't come back from this. Because you can. Nobody's perfect. We're not perfect. There's nobody that's perfect. But what you want to do is be working towards that. And those decisions that you're going to make, those feelings that you have, they need to be fed. They need to be fed nutrition, good nutrition, so that you can be operating at a higher level when it comes to decision making, when it comes to beliefs, holding on to beliefs, hearing new information, digesting the things that are coming at you throughout the day. And Lord knows a lot of stuff comes at us.
There's a lot, especially with social media. Like we are over informed, and half of it is BS. Just trying to decipher what's real and what's not.
So you can see the
quandary.
Yeah, that you can get into. But I think what we're trying to do is get you to understand not only functionally how things work, but why a lot of times, weight loss is a big thing. You can't lose, I can't lose the weight. I can't this. And why can't I be happy? Why can't I feel this way? Why can't I enjoy my job? And we will have a tendency, I think a lot of people have the tendencies, is that they're going to try and shovel the blame where it really doesn't belong.
Yeah. You have control. We have some control over our bubble, our community, our tribe, our area, and we're real quick to be like, no, it's his fault, it's her fault, and if this wouldn't have happened, I wouldn't have did this, and da 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 da. Instead of saying, hold up, wait a minute, like I'm gonna need you to own some of that. Like everything happens for our greatest good, first and foremost, but then it's being in a position to be able to receive and analyze and process. Part of the nutrition, the brain, stomach access is being able to process what's real and take away the golden nugget and say, okay, well, you know what? Even though that person's a jerk, okay, micromanaging butthole, what can I do differently? What is it that I can own out of that to change either the perception, the view, or whatever it is you're going to do? Are you going to look for a new job? Like, you have choices. Like, they might not be the easiest choices or the greatest choices, but you do have choices, and that's a lot. Not everybody has that.
Yeah. I like to look at it almost like a couple that has met, and they're going to decide to, give it a try and kind of go together or see if it'll work or whatnot. I believe the reason that so many relationships don't go far and don't work. It's because everything's at a surface level.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you like this type of music, so do I. Oh, we're compatible. Oh, you like to eat this kind of food. You like to go here. You like to travel. That's all surface stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens over time? You got to get below the surface. You will go below the surface. Now all of a sudden you're 10 feet down below the surface, stuff you never even talked about. Like what do you want to do in the next 5 years with your life? How do you want to impact the world? What? I ain't talking about that stuff.
Yeah.
But guess what? That comes up. Now you find that you're on 2 different paths. And when it comes to this type of thinking that we're talking about, when things hit you, you got to get past the surface. That's surface stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy's a clown and he's a jerk as a manager. You gonna let that control you?
Right.
You got a high-paying job, good-paying job, could be a job you really like, but this guy, a person, can be whoever, is a jerk, and right away you fly off the handle and they said that and blah, 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 blah. Get below the surface. Go deeper than that. Yeah. You've given this person all the control.
Way too much control.
Everything. Yeah. Everything. And you flip out over everything they say now and do, and you're looking for, see, there it is.
And part of that is the belief system.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We want to blame shift, and we want to argue our limitations. That's a learned behavior over time. And to get to the point where we identify it and we recognize it is the ability to change it. That brain has got to be right.
Yeah.
You got to feed the brain to be able to wipe clean the minutia, mm-hmm. and to see and be able to process and to have some type of discernment. I'm like, okay, this really isn't that bad. I was just, mm-hmm. Holding on because I seen that's the way my mom dealt with things.
Yep. These are triggers. They're triggers. You don't even know they're triggers.
Yeah, I mean, are they really triggers, or is this just bad behavior picked up?
Yeah.
Is this just a way we, again, argued our limitations and justified not excelling, right? It's a quicker fix to blame it on all these outside influences or variables, and it's not. Yeah. We have to sit back and be like, you know what, F that. I'm taking control. Like, I'm not going to let this bother me anymore. And mm-hmm. It's just like that. It's a choice. It's a decision. As crazy as it sounds, it's a 17-second rule, right? If it holds your attention for 17 seconds, right, it will either grow or dissipate. One of the two, right? Mm-hmm. Usually it'll grow. It's like 17 seconds, that's all you got. And then next you know, that 17 is going to be turned into like, oh, and another thing. And then when she did this, and next you know, it's a day later and you still talking about this girl that ain't got nothing to do with you. She ain't even thinking about you. She's gone. She's moved on, right? But it's like we want to, and part of it is, what I'll finish my thought, what we want to do is we want to just kind of justify why we feel the way we do. Right? Mm-hmm. If it's our eating habits or somebody hurt our feelings or whatever, we're trying to justify that instead of realizing this was the lesson. Maybe shouldn't have mm-hmm. said she was fat. Maybe shouldn't have said that, you know? Right. And then move past it and then just keep going on about your day. And it's constantly evolving. We're constantly evolving. If your mind is not right, you can't not see that. You're going to get wrapped around the axle about that one thing, and that one thing is going to anchor you down. Mm-hmm. If it's your weight, if it's your marriage, if it's your job, if it's your kids, if it's your eating habits, or what we initially started with was like, I think I'm doing all the right things, but I'm not losing the weight, or I'm not getting mm-hmm. the body mass that I thought I was going to. Mm-hmm. It drives down to an emotional level. This ain't about food no more. I mean, it is, but it isn't. Yeah. It's about the recognition of your belief system, mm-hmm. if you will, mm-hmm. and then the emotional part versus the logical part is how we're handling this process of us living this ultimate better life.
Right. And I think one of the key things that you mentioned was accountability. You've got to take accountability. And yet, when is that ever taught?
Never.
Or if it is taught, especially when you were young, it's taught in such a way, it's traumatizing. Yeah. So, people don't even want to venture down that road of accountability. But you really, to move forward, it's almost required. You have to take some accountability of this. Mm-hmm. You got skin in the game. And, true, it's a little of a lot of things. Okay? Yeah. eating right is one of them. You
That's a
know
big
it,
one.
you still poo-poo it. You don't want to do it. Some do, some don't. You suffer the consequences of it that are usually unseen, unknown, and you're trying to think, you know, why? How can I do better? How come I'm always in this run? How come I always got
Mm-hmm.
more month than money? You know, you get into all these things, and you just lather yourself up with them, and yeah, it's like being in the hot tub, and you're just sitting there. And
Mm-hmm.
no, you got to take some accountability and realize that this thing up here, okay, is working its ass off for you. Why don't you help it?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you help it out a little bit? Um,
We talked about offline. We talked about fasting and detox
mhm.
because part of it is clearing out all the old stuff and just kind of reset. Okay,
Yeah.
Rich and I probably do it monthly. Some people do it quarterly. When the seasons change, is ideal once a quarter. But you explained it so eloquently about how the body, why it's so important to fast.
Yeah. So what really happens during a fast? You cut yourself off from eating food. Okay. So the body goes, okay, I was expecting some food today, and I'm not seeing any coming in
Not
here.
happening.
And okay, and, my prime function is to keep this thing going. So I need to get food from somewhere. So the body will switch gears and say, okay, since you're not providing me the nutrition, I need to get it from within.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to look at your fat stores. That's why a lot of people lose weight. It uses the fat as nutrition. There are a couple other places that it looks for nutrition. But the body is smart enough to know that I need good nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need crap. Okay? So in that sense, and this is an oversimplification, but in essence what it does is this, hey, I need to, number one, I got to operate a lot more efficiently because I'm not being fed.
Right.
Okay. So the food sources that I do pick from in the body are important, are key, but also the bad cells, the impurities that are in the body. The body goes, I need to get rid of that. Because otherwise I got to deal with that too. And that's too much now because
Mm-hmm.
I only have this internal source to work off of. So it will flush out the bad stuff.
That's going first.
Yeah.
That first 24 hours, that's pretty much.
And that's so key because it's getting rid of mutated cells that could possibly turn into cancer and all other kinds of things. It's getting rid of not only cells, it's getting rid of particulate matter. It's like an internal detox that it's going through. It's going to be producing more stem cells to help your body. It's doing all those things because it's thinking, well, guess what? I'm going to have to operate solely from an internal mechanism instead of an external one. And that's why fasting is so wonderful for the body in terms of cleaning it out and getting back to a state where it can actually function properly. Because what is one of the one things that you really notice when you fast? This mind gets so sharp.
It does.
Oh my God! It's like, oh, can I hold on to it?
Yeah, that was the first thing I noticed. Was like, wow, I wasn't as hungry as I thought I was gonna be, and I was like, wow, my thinking, my decision making, it was quick.
Talk about multitasking.
Woo!
Give me
I
more.
was on it. Yeah, it's quite an addictive feeling, by the way. So be careful with that one.
And people have more gains when they go to the gym. They're able to do more things and this and that. Oh, why is that? I'm eating 500 grams of protein and your body is in a much more efficient state when you're not feeding it the wrong things. And when it's like that, it can hum like a top. That's how a lot of people get rid of illnesses.
Yep.
Because the body is down, your immune system is sharper. I don't have to worry about all these impurities that you're taking in and working on them. So guess what? I got more troops to go handle the things internally. So now your body just becomes more
Efficient.
efficient, the functionality of things is spot on, and that's why it's so great. And a lot of people, oh yeah, I can't fast, I can't.
You
Oh,
can
that's
do
that's
it.
a mindset.
That's a belief system, and that's
Yep.
probably why you need to do it,
Yep,
because
yep,
somewhere in this gut brain access,
yep,
it
yep.
has clouded your perception of what could be. And we're constantly saying, I'm trying to do this and I want to do this. And like, okay, either you are or you're not.
Right, right,
Trying isn't, it's not a real thing.
right.
You know
right.
what I mean? Like, you can go towards something, but you have to make a decision to do it or not do it.
And that will happen on the first day.
Yep.
When those hunger pains come in on the first day, also you should need proper supplementation while you're doing this.
Yep.
But those hunger pains will come in on the first day. That's where the rubber meets the road.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to fall back into old habits, old thoughts, old opinions, what you've heard,
Yep.
and all that crap?
What your friend said.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
social media
Why they
said.
failed.
Yeah.
You going to do that? Or are you going to say, this is for me?
Yeah.
This is for me. I'm going to gut it out because I know this is a great thing.
You are your own sovereign nation. Your rules
Yep.
supersede those of the outside world. So if you say, I'm going to do this, you are going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And not only would accomplishing the thing be great, but you've kind of trained your brain to be like, oh shit, I'm kind of the bomb.
Yeah.
I can do hard things for a short period of time. We
Yep.
all can.
Yep.
It's mesmerizing how quickly we talk ourselves out of it before even doing it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what we were doing. I don't want to name names, but we were doing this exercise, and it was like I don't think I could do it. I didn't even know I could do it.
Mm-hmm.
We were running. That's what it was. Like I didn't think I could run 3 miles.
Mm-hmm.
And I told the girls like, well, how do you know if you didn't try? Like you didn't even you didn't even do it. Like
Yeah.
she talked herself out of it. And then when she tried to quit, I was like, nope, just keep your feet moving. We'll slow down, but just keep your feet moving.
Mm-hmm.
And we were done. And she's like, oh my God, we did it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I did it. I'm like,
Yeah.
sometimes you need a cheerleader, but if you
Yeah.
do not have a cheerleader, you need to be your own damn cheerleader.
Yep.
And push past the excuses. Stop arguing your limitation and just do it. If you're not 100% successful, you're going to be closer than you were.
That's right.
That's going to
That's
give you the motivation to get to that next level.
I mean, I didn't get to, what was it? I think the highest I did was 9 days. I didn't get to 9 days the first time.
Yeah.
Trying fasting. Heck no. You know, I got to, I think, 2 days. And I'm like, hallelujah, I made it 2 days.
Woo!
All right.
2 for 2.
And then I went to 3, and then I went to 5, then I went to 7, then to 9. And so, but what's that creating? That's creating a totally different belief system.
Mm-hmm.
Not this old stinking thinking one that, oh, well, I got all these limitations and blah, 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 blah. No, heck no. Heck no.
And part of it could be because you're thinking clearer.
Mm-hmm.
Now all of the excuses and old trauma and triggers, they kind of don't exist anymore,
Right,
because
right,
you've pushed
right.
past them and you've told that little liar to
Yeah.
go somewhere.
Yeah.
Like that
Now you're creating a whole new belief system, and it's a good feeling. It really,
it really
is. So,
So yeah, you're not broken.
nope, by no means.
Not at all. We just need to change a couple of things up and you will be just fine.
Yep.
Part of it, it's going to mainly start with nutrition and what you're feeding yourself physically, emotionally, and spiritually. You have to do the work, and just start anywhere.
Yeah.
If it's journaling, if it's, eating meat once a day, not every meal should not have an animal protein. Just saying. Just start somewhere. And if you need anything, reach out to us. We're more than happy to, be your personal cheerleaders.
Yep. Yep. We're here for you. So.
I got a mean backflip. I'm just saying.
Well, we appreciate you as always, and just remember, you are unapologetically significant, and we believe in you. You can do this. Until next time.
Peace.
Peace.